Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I've got video number 2 of a 2-video series working with the paper pumpkin from April 2017, and these are alternative projects that you can use items from your kit to create. So this is the second video. If you missed the first one, we made this beautiful card similar to the one we're making now. If you go to the link directly in my description, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get a printable project sheet for this card. In that blog post, I'll put a link to the video and the printable project sheet for the other alternative project. All right, this is the stamp set that came in the Paper Pumpkin 2017 April kit. We're also using the watercolor panel. I cut it into a label. We're using the basic black card base. I traded in the liner that they had, the Whisper White one, and did a vanilla one, very vanilla. But here's the card, and here's the supplies in addition to the Paper Pumpkin that you'll need. I've mixed this up with the Stampin' Up! 2017 retiring list because there are so many things on the retiring list that I just love and I'm going to miss. And one of the things that I love the most and I'm going to miss the most is the Petite Petals stamp set and the Petite Petals Punch. The Petite Petals Punch is on sale right now. It's on sale for $9.10, and as of the recording of this video, it is still available. I'm also using the Everyday Jars and Jar of Love. The Everyday Jars Framelits and Jar of Love stamp set are carrying into the new catalog, so there's no risk of these going away, but they're currently available with a bundle discount if you order before June 1st. And so if you've had your eye on this bundle, right now you can save 10%. After June 1st, you can still get the products, but you won't save the 10%. I'm using the Lots of Labels Framelits dies. These are brand new for me, so that was kind of fun. Layering Circles Framelits dies. And the Detailed Dragonfly Finlets dies. Our Stampin' Pads for this project are Lemon Lime Twist, brand new, you can get this June 1st, it's a new ink color. Melon Mambo, Cucumber Crush, also on the retirement list. I do believe that this is sold out, so if you haven't gotten it, I'm so sorry. It's a great green. I think this will be one of the last video projects I make with it. We're also using Basic Black and Berry Burst. Berry Burst is a 2017-2019 in color also, so you're getting a little sneak peeks on these videos. Okay, the paper supplies that you'll need for this card include Basic Black card base from the Paper Pumpkin. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I cut down one of the watercolor pieces with the label. I put a very vanilla liner. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and you can always use the Whisper White if you'd like, the one that came in the Paper Pumpkin. I've got scraps of Berry Burst and Lemon Lime Twist and Melon Mambo that are about 3 by 1 1/4. This Lemon Lime Twist scallop circle is cut with the biggest scallop and layering circles. I have a piece, it's just a scrap here, of 4 1/4 by 2 1/4, very vanilla. That's for our leaves. We're gonna cut quite a few of them. Then a piece of Basic Black cardstock for the Dragonfly. Okay, this scrap is probably about 2 inches too big. You might even get 2 Dragonfly out of this, but this one is 2 1/2, and that's the important measurement. You need it to be by about 3 1/2. Then I'm using this crosshatch pattern paper, and that's from the Playful Palette Designer Series paper. Playful Palette's a designer series stack. It's 6 by 6 sheets, and there we go. It's available while supplies last. It's a beautiful kind of bright palette and very artistic. So that's the Playful Palette, $6 on sale from $10 right now while supplies last. Now let's get started here with our watercolor so that that's got a minute to dry. I'm using the Pacific Point watercolor pencil from the April 2017 paper pumpkin, but you can use the Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils if you didn't get the April 2017 kit. Pacific Point is in that collection. All right, so what you want to do is with your watercolor pencil and your watercolor paper, just want to stay to the right-hand side. You're not going to go much more than halfway, and use the edge of your pencil, or the side of your pencil, I should say, and you're just going to swatch back and forth, a little wider, a little narrower, and then narrowing down at the end. Okay, and then I'm going to get my aqua paint, or you can use the brush that came in the April paper pumpkin if you'd like, and I'm going to work from the center out here. See if I like that better this time. Usually I work from the top down, but this time I'm going to work from the center out and see how that looks, if it looks any different. And I'm working in circles so that I actually work out the lines that we drew here. I don't want it to look scratchy. I want to work those lines out. Okay, not bad. If you've seen the other videos in this series, you know I tend to overwork it. I need to just leave it alone, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back away from the watercolor now. Ah, look at that, and I went back to it. All right, I'm really backing away. Clean off my brush, and we'll set that aside to dry while we work on the other elements. I've got my Very Vanilla panel here for the inside of the card, and I'm going to get the Lemon Lime Twist and Basic Black, and we're just gonna stamp a really quick flower for the inside of the card. When I line the card, the darker color card bases, I like to add a little something. Not a lot, we still need room for our message here, but I'm gonna stamp a Lemon Lime Twist flower. Grab the spatter image from the April paper pumpkin and line this biggest spatter up so that it's in the center of my flower. So it's actually gonna kind of double as a flower center. And then I'm going to just spatter across the corner. It's simple, but it's something, adds a little interest to the inside of the card. Now I've got my card base, my pattern paper, and my vanilla liner, and I'm just gonna get some snail adhesive and assemble some of these layers. Let's get my sample in here so you can see. I'm going to put the pattern paper about 1 inch from the bottom. So we're going to get in here. I like to use the grid paper to make sure that my layers don't go uphill or down. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Add some snail to the inside panel. And we'll put that there inside of our card. This little guy here needs to be snipped in half, and it's not got to be perfect. Just cut him in half. And let's do a little bit more stamping so we can give this panel some more time to dry. I'm gonna get some ink pads in my Stampin' Pierce mat. I'll be right back. Okay, I've stamped the flower on the inside of the card with the Lemon Lime Twist, so we'll start there and stamp 2 Lemon Lime Twist flowers on the Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. And then we'll need to clean in between. It might be kind of neat to grab a different stamp from the Petite Petals and have different pattern flowers for each color. You could do that. I didn't think of it until now, otherwise I would have. It would show you more of the awesome stamp set. There are great patterns for this flower. All right, so Melon Mambo is next, because when we do a lighter color in the same color family, we can just stamp off, and then we can move to the darker color. We don't need to clean in between. And we're gonna do 2 of the Berry Burst flowers. And as you can see, there's the difference between the new Berry Burst and the current Melon Mambo color. Now, set these aside, we'll punch them in a minute. I have my sprig from the jars of love, and we need 4 of them, but we don't need the whole sprig, so we're just gonna stamp them this way right off the end. 1, and I'm gonna rotate 2, 3, 1 more. There's all 4 of our cucumber crush sprigs. We'll have to die cut our dragonfly and our sprigs. I'll get the big shot. Okay, I've got the big shot and the magnetic platform. We're going to have to run the sprigs 4 times. So I'm going to run my first pass with the dragonfly, 1 of these sprigs, and then I'll do 3 more passes and see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back with my die cutting done, and I'm just going to really gently roll the die brush over my dragonfly because he's really pretty delicate. See that? And then I'm going to punch out all of my flowers. I've got 6 of them, so I'll punch them and see you when I'm done. Okay, I've got my last little flower here. I'm gonna punch, and then we're gonna shape them. So line that up. Squeeze. There's our 6 perfect flowers. And I've got the die brush sponge mat. It's softer than the Stampin' Pierce mat that we've been using. And I'm going to get my paper piercer. And I'm going to use the handle end of my paper piercer and just roll each of these little flowers. You just draw little circles in the center and you get a perfectly cupped bloom. Aren't they pretty? Okay, now we're gonna switch out this one for the Stampin' Pierce mat one more time. I've got my basic black ink, and we are going to stamp "You Are the Best" on our pretty watercolor label. Now, this is the stamp set, and it's got all these fun buildable sentiments. We are going to start with "Best," and we're going to put it down toward the bottom of our watercolor panel using the basic black ink. Then we'll stamp "You" so that the loop, the basement of the Y, is going to be just above the E in "Best." And that will leave us a little open space in between the words where we can put "are the." So I've got my bitty little R, and you can put them straight or you can give them a little tilt, whatever makes you happy. You can line them right up on top of each other or spread them out. I love the flexibility and the personalization that this stamp set allows for. All right, there it is. Let's get our little spatter stamp. It wouldn't be the same without. And run some spatters from the upper right corner, and I'm going to move them through the bottom left corner. And I'm actually going to give it a little twist, and I'm going to put off my mat here because I'm going off the edge with most of the spatters here. There. Okay, very happy with that. I think our stamping is completely done. Let's get our glue dots and some multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, we don't need all of this leaf, so we're going to cut the stem really close this time. Now these guys are going to go, they're going to stick off the label, so you don't want to put glue on the last or on the top leaves, just at the stem. And we're going to add them peeking off the top of the label at the bottom, or at the top, and then off the bottom of the label at the bottom. All right, now that we've got our leaves there, let's get our flowers on. I'm just going to add 1 of each color at the bottom and 1 at the top with glue dots. You want to kind of nest them in together real close. Our flowers are all on. My little dragonfly is waiting on deck. Let's put this label on the card, shall we? I had you earlier snip scallop circle in half, and now you're going to run a little fast fuse down the flat edge there. We're going to use our grid paper and pick a line and put our circle so that the scallops start on the same line. See? Then we'll lay the label over and move them closer as necessary until we get nice even scallops sticking out from both sides of the label. When you got it where you like it, and see how my label runs parallel with my grid paper, everything's nice and even that way, and then we can turn it over and add some dimensionals. Okay, our dimensional adhesive is all exposed, and we're going to put the label on the card so that it's right of center, because our dragonfly wings need some space down here in the bottom right corner, so, or bottom left corner, so the label goes right of center. Grab our little dragonfly, and using our thumbnail we'll bend his wings and give him flight. See that? And then we're going to add multi-purpose liquid glue to the back of his body only. Now he's going to kind of fly off the card, but we don't want him to detract from the sentiment, so place him accordingly. A little bit different angles, but that's okay because of where our flowers are and where our sentiment is. And the last step, we need some bling. Let's get some of this largest size of the basic rhinestones, and we'll put one in the center of each of these 6 flowers. I know it's a lot of bling, but this color combination just works so well with all that sparkle. There they are, guys. You are the best. Video number 2 out of 2 in my April 2017 paper pumpkin alternative ideas. If you've got questions about paper pumpkin or you'd like to subscribe, you can check out kitchentablestamper.com or email me, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.